out of the lineup. I think what they've decided to do is get him in there, get him the necessary work, but also allow him to grow at the position without forcing things up on him, letting his natural ability just kind of take place. And that's a beauty when you're watching a young quarterback and you're able to say to yourself, okay, if he had this, and this, what would it look like? And I think when they got $130 million of cap space a year from now, they can sit back and they go, okay, if we plug this guy in here and this guy and this guy in here with Justin, this is what our offense could potentially be.
And I got to give some credit, though. I'll say this really quick. Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator, right? A lot of times coaches mess up by trying to make players fit their system instead of tailoring their system around their player, especially their franchise quarterback. They're doing a great job right now of making Justin Fields comfortable because he looked comfortable. He looks comfortable in his drops. He looks comfortable in the bootlegs. But they're tailoring things that fits his skill set. And that's big to me. That's when you know coaches are hitting on the right thing. And like you just mentioned, Key, when you do have all that money in free agency next year and you have guys you could bring in, you could just imagine the players, the offensive line-wise and the skill position players that they can be able to bring in and play with a guy like Justin Fields. But he looks so comfortable right now, man, and it's a thing of beauty to see.
You know what he has that I just picked up on?
What's that?
And I was kind of just looking at it a little bit. I got a little Patrick Mahomes in him.
They're similar. They're built similar.
No,
I mean,
I'm just talking
Fields
about.
a little thicker, but they're
I'm just
similar.
talking about his ability to move around,
Make
throw the
plays.
football.
Right.
I'm just looking at him and I'm like, who the hell does look like that? And it just dawned on me when he went to the whirlied out here, right here on this play. Bam, he's out. Now look at this. Eyes down the field. He throws the ball to his left to the sideline. That's Patrick Mahomes.
There are going to be a lot of dudes.
That's Patrick Mahomes right there.
There are going to be a lot of dudes trying to get into the inner Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers because those are guys they watched growing up.
But you know what? That's that baseball in him. Kyler Murray does the same thing.
Patrick Mahomes
does the same.
Yep.
That's that baseball in him.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the great names in ESPN radio call-in history, Uncle Scrubber in Hartford, has something to say about Keyshawn's lens. Uncle, what you got?
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Hey, man, let me tell you guys, man. Hey, thanks for having me. Keyshawn is spot on today. I mean, it's ridiculous. He got it right, very right. New Orleans is going to make a very big impact in this season. And Tampa Bay, I think they might struggle a little bit. You know, I think they might struggle a little bit this season. But I'm a LA Rams fan, you know, since 1974. So. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good here. But you brothers is doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Keyshawn, I'm proud of you this morning, man. You finally getting something really right.
Wow.
I'm proud of you.
I guess he hasn't been proud before, but finally.
This morning,
Talk
you
greasy to
finally
him.
did some stuff right. Well, at least he's been listening for at least 3 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And you finally made him proud. Uncle Scrubber.
Yeah. That means that
Uncle Scrubber's
if
list.
I hadn't made him proud in the past, Freddie, he would have changed the dial. But guess what? If he changed the dial, he ain't getting this. So what is it that he does? He comes right back.
That's true. No matter what happens.
He comes right back. Even when he gets mad and he changes the dial in his car.
Uncle Scrubber sticks around.
He goes,
He coming back. He coming back.
I can't listen to that. I got to go back to Keyshawn now.
But finally, you got the Uncle Scrubber diploma from Hartford. Before, he was going to fail you, put you in the back of the class, put the dunce camp on you. But today, Keyshawn Johnson, you have found a rant letter day in the house of Uncle Scrubber in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm proud of you today. One of the all-time great sort of bird shade kind of compliments that we've ever heard. We'll continue more of your calls at 888-729-3776 on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Your thoughts on Key's list. We'll revisit that list and get your calls.
Why are y'all showing the Duke helmet, though?
Because we got a USC helmet on the other side. He's not able to
Duke helmet? What's to do? Or the coaches wasn't coaching him up. But what I do know is that he did not look good at all in the preseason.
Number two.
Guess who's going to the Super Bowl? That's right. You heard it here first. The New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston and company will be in Arizona at the Super Bowl, and not just attending, but actually playing in it. Because guess why? Michael Thomas is back at full strength. And so is his quarterback in Jameis Winston. And the rest of those New Orleans Saints. Hey, Who that? That's all I can tell you.
Number 1.
And sitting at number 1 is Justin Fields, quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields put on a display against the Cleveland Browns in the preseason. And I know it was only the preseason, but that ain't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for delivering of the football, understanding what the defense is doing to you, taking advantage of the defense. He looked like an NFL quarterback. I don't know what it was, but for some reason, the light switch in this particular game turned on, and I don't think it'll ever go off.
Harry, what you think about Key's observations?
I'll start with the Saints one. I think the Saints are going to be a lot better than a lot of people think. Watching Jameis Winston and the snaps that he was out there, I thought he looked good in the pocket. Now, he wasn't out there for many, but I actually thought he looked really, really good. We actually seen them run the same play that the Miami Dolphins ran, the same play of the first play of the game, where you had a deep post and an over. Chris Olave understanding where to go in zones and sat right down, and Jameis did a great job of hitting them. And then he had another play to Jarvis Landry on a deep out route, but held him up a little bit so he didn't go out there to coverage and take a big hit. I just love what I see. Then he hit Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield. I just think with the weapons that Jameis has this season, he has an opportunity to throw for over 4,000 yards, and I think well over it, and a numerous of touchdowns. We've seen what he was last year before he got hurt and how he led this team and how the New Orleans Saints basically were decimated at that quarterback position when he was not playing. And I think last year that was the only really void was the quarterback position. Do I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl and make it? I can't sit up here and say that. Y'all want me to get
Well,
killed
I'm going to say it. I said it.
but
You ain't
listen.
got to say it.
That's
Well,
why he
I
said
know,
that.
I know, Key. I know, and you mentioned your nephew. You tell your nephew he better get that damn hamstring right. Get that hamstring right.
But his
I know.
hamstring is fine.
I
Don't
know,
listen to
Key.
reports.
Don't jump
It's
on
all
me.
right.
Don't jump on me, Key. I'm just a messenger. He tell him
I'm
to get
not
his
going to jump
hamstring
on you.
right.
I'm just saying his hamstring is fine. Every
Listen,
time,
I like your
every
nephew. I like him.
Oh yeah, no,
I like
he all
him.
right. He's straight. You
I
know,
like
you
him.
know how
I
it
like
is.
him.
You get a little sore because you working yourself. You hadn't worked yourself in a minute, so you getting back in a real game shape. So you get a
Exactly.
little tired, and so you rest them up a little bit, and then they say, "Well, what's wrong?" He said, "I had a little hamstring," and then the media runs with it and make it seem as though he's missing the first 10 games of the year because he's got a little stiffness and a little sore that he got to get rubbed out. It's all right. We all good, man.
And I know a lot of people are picking Tampa to take over things in the NFC. Some people are in the NFC South, but you got to remember, Tampa has lost 4 of the last 5 games to the New Orleans Saints, and they have their number. In those 4 games, regular season games, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have given up 13 sacks, and the New Orleans Saints have found a way to get to Tom Brady and fluster him and frustrate him. Plus, you have secondary guys that can match up with the skill position players. Marshawn Lattimore, a lot of the times have been matched up with Mike Evans and gotten the best of that matchup. So I think when you look at those two teams, I give, honestly, the Saints a little bit of edge, even though they lost. Sean Payton and Dennis Allen is their head coach. But when you have a guy like Pete Carmichael who has been in that system, been with this team, it's not like they're losing everybody. These guys that are in positions now, they have been with that team for numerous of years. So it's not like they're just going to be decimated and depleted because Sean Payton's no longer there. People didn't forget how to play football. The coaches didn't forget how to coach. It's going to be a little different, but Jameis Winston being healthy and being able to deliver the football down the field with the weapons that he has, I think could be a scary thing if they're hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, and look, people bring up Sean Payton being gone. That is a key. There's no question about it.
Can't minimize
But what
that.
I would say, and you probably don't know this, Harry, because you probably were in high school at the time and really not paying attention to all of the NFL head coaches and whatnot and teams and things of that nature. But Dennis Allen was a decent defensive coordinator before he became a head coach with the Raiders. You wasn't going to win with the Raiders and Al Davis and what they was putting together. Nobody was going to win in Oakland with that at that particular time in that stretch when he was the head coach. He didn't have this roster. He didn't have these players. So when you look at it, his second bite at the apple is a different set than it was when he was an Oakland Raiders coach. Totally different. Totally different. That's why I believe, losing Sean Payton certainly going to hurt, but this team is so loaded
Exactly.
that you got to be a dang on fool to mess it up.
Well,
Now, I'll tell you, Key, a big miss, though, Trevor Penning. And let me tell you why I like Trevor Penning, offensive line-wise. That's who they drafted to replace Teron Armstead. When I did my draft evaluations, he was the nastiest, literally the nastiest offensive lineman in the draft. I mean, if you was a defensive player, your head better have been on the swivel because he was going to try to knock you out any and every time. Now, he need to get a little bit better pass blocking, but in the run game, and that will come with the guys that he's going against every day. But losing him to a foot injury, I think it's going to be huge for him, but I think New Orleans will still figure it out some kind of way.
Yeah, and I think so, Freddie. When you talk about quarterbacks trying to figure it out, and you look at Jameis Winston, and you look at some of the quarterbacks in the NFC.
Sure.
And I talked about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a young quarterback who is up and coming. Okay, doesn't have a whole lot around him. There's no question about it. But the one thing that gives me hope and promise with him is he did everything the right way. He went to all his right reads. He didn't look like he was out there guessing and struggling. It looked like he became a professional quarterback. And I know it's only the preseason, and you're not getting everything thrown at you, but you don't need to. When you gain that confidence the way this young man has displayed this preseason for me, I wouldn't be shocked if his ability would lead them to fight it out for a much better season than what people think, just because of him. You know, it's almost like a Lamar Jackson effect to a degree where the players around him all of a sudden just get better.
In 2 minutes, we'll talk about Justin Fields, his second season in Chicago, and how that word regret may affect another football team that did not draft. And we'll do that here in 2 minutes here in Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max with Keyshawn Johnson, Freddie Coleman, Harry Douglas on ESPN Radio, as well catches on ESPN2. Weighing on Keyshawn's list. Among that, Tampa Bay missing the playoffs, New Orleans going to the Super Bowl. You can do that at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Marlon in New York, what do you have to say about a part of Keyshawn's list?
Yes, I like to say that Tom Brady